last time I checked, every time you go into these Christian churches, you inherit lies. You believe lies. And I understand Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, why you leave these religions. I understand why you say you're an atheist. I understand why you say, well, I believe in God, I just don't subscribe to a religion. Because all religions are full of lies. I understand. And now you're in search for who you truly are. Now you're in search for the truth. The truth is right here. Read what you got.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 8. The wise in heart will receive commandments.
The wise in heart will receive the commandments. Well, how will you have a chance to be wise in heart? To listen to the men in the Isupk, the prophets of the Lord. Keep reading.
But a parading fool shall fall.
A parading fool shall fall. The Christian pastor, the entire congregation in the church. Y'all shall fall because y'all have no wisdom. Y'all are fools. Keep reading.
Verse 9. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely.
Read that again.
He that walketh uprightly walketh surely.
Keep going.
But he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
He that walketh uprightly walketh surely. That's what the men in the Isupk are doing. And we're trying to edify you that you should do the same thing.
Right.
You should come and be on the right side of the Lord. Because let me tell you this, there is going to be rumors of wars. And we are in the midst of World War III. It is brewing up. And it's one thing that you should know. In the midst of World War III, America would never go back to the way its original state was.
Right.
Ever since COVID-19, America has been messed up. Inflation, higher taxes, higher property taxes, higher interest rates. Everything is getting expensive. And you know what happens when things get expensive? People start to go into poverty. You know what else happens when you go into poverty? The crime rate increases. You know what else happens? People start to get hungry. People are going to want goods. People, all type of emotions are going to happen. You think the Purge movies were for some entertainment? Nah, the Purge is going to happen in real life.
That's right.
There's going to be people riding around on F-350s with AR-15s.
Right.
And bulletproof vests that come inside your house.
Right.
That's going to happen. It will be civil war. It will be world war.
Right.
Why? Because we need world war for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to have peace.
That's right.
That's what we need. And it must come to pass. You know what Christ said? He said, be not troubled.
Right.
For these things must come to pass for our salvation. If you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you should rejoice in the falling of America.
Right.
But if you don't rejoice in the fall of America, you love America. That means that you agree with all the rape, rob, and murder, and the blood, sweat, and tears that we had to do to build this sinful country. America is not a country full of love. America is not a country full of righteousness. America is a country full of iniquity, a country full of unfairness and sick, wicked people. And that's why you have this place, and it's going to be destroyed. Here's what you got again.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 9. The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 8. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a parading fool shall fall.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 11. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life.
No, read that again. I'm going to break this down. Read it again.
The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life.
The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life. Well, would you consider the so-called Christian pastor a righteous man? Or would you consider him a so-called hypocrite? Because last time I checked, the only thing that they talk about is Adam and Eve. They talk about Christ and come as you are and prosperity. And you learn nothing. If you ask a Christian right now, what does he learn in the Christian church every Sunday? He learns nothing. He has gained no knowledge, gained no wisdom. He doesn't know the scriptures. And for crying out loud, they don't even open the book of Revelation.
Right.
Because they don't understand that Revelation, the root word of that is revealed. But some things have to be revealed at some point in time. Some point in time, you're going to have to know something. Oh, I know why. Because in Revelation 1 And then 13, 14, and 15 verses, it talks about the depiction of Yahushua Mashiach. And it talks about the depiction of Christ being a so-called Negro, not a so-called white man. I understand why they don't go into that book in the Bible. I understand now. Because if they do, the Christian church will fall. Their entire ways of teaching will be none in effect, it will be vain. They won't have a congregation. It won't be a collection plate and communion service. You can't go up to the altar and get the oil and he said, Shamanananda, and all this stuff that runs around the church. It would be none in effect, which means a Christian pastor would be a broke man and you wouldn't subscribe to him. Because why? When you see a man with nice suits and Bentleys and a lump sum amount of land, you think he's rich. You think that he's righteous. You think he's of God. You think he's a prophet of God. Well, last time I checked, in the scriptures, the Sadducees and Pharisees were very wealthy men.
Right.
But I have you know that they were hypocrites. And they despised when Christ walked around.
That's right.
They despised when a man that didn't have rich apparel on and had a following. Because he was teaching the truth of the Bible. That's why. Because the truth of the Bible does not consist of money. You know what it consists of? Sacrifice. That's what it consists of. To love everybody else more than yourself. And that's what Christ did. He did the ultimate sacrifice by laying down his life for brothers and sisters he's never met. Why? So they can have a chance to be perfect and to not sin. That's what Christ's death was for. Read what you got.
The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked.
But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. How many times has this been said? How many times has it been done? In the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 7 and 8, what does it say? Their feet run to evil. Everything that they say and do, their thoughts, and everything they say is of iniquity. Read it again.
The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked.
Give me verse 16.
Verse 16, the labor of the righteous tendeth to life, the fruit of the wicked to sin.
Now give me 15 and 5. Stand Proverbs. Give me chapter 15 and verse 5.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 5. A fool despiseth his father's instruction.
Say it again.
A fool despiseth his father's instruction.
A fool despiseth his father's instructions. This is what you need to know. You need to stop hating God.
Right.
The ways that you are living are showing God that you hate him. You're not showing God that you love him. Read that again.
A fool despiseth his father's instruction.
A fool despiseth his father's instructions. Now we all have fleshly fathers, and you have an upstanding father, and your father says, don't go over there to that block. Don't go over there messing with them boys. Don't go out there, they selling drugs. They unaliving people. You're gonna get caught up by the law. And you go over there and you get locked up. Now you're doing 10 to life. Now they done planted drugs on you. Now they done said they planted a gun on you. Now they snitching on you. Now you gotta do time for some Negroes that don't give a damn about you.
All right.
A fool despiseth his father's instructions. That's what we are doing when we disobey the Most High God. The Most High God, Yahweh, in the Hebrew, is our Father. And when we go and eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, when you go and follow the ways of white men and Arab men, when you go and marry their daughters and you go and marry their sons, you are despising your father's instructions. You are a fool. Because why? The Most High God knows everything. This is his scripture. This is his words. He's given us the instruction. He gave it to the prophets to give to what? The entire earth of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to our world. And yea, what do? You go and disrespect. You go and not listen to him. You are a fool.
Right.
You know how I know you're a fool? You don't know how to make an elephant. You don't know what consists of a plant. You don't know what consists of how to make a human and have lungs and arteries and veins and blood vessels and blood cells.
Right.
Your mind can't even begin to process that type of capacity of information. Only the Most High God can do that. Why? Because he is the creator of these things.
Right.
He knows what's going to happen. He knows how to create things. He maketh alive and he killeth. And you are a fool to go against his ways and to think that you're smarter than him and to exalt yourself higher. See, that's what our oppressors do. Like it says in Obadiah verse 3, who had pride in their heart, which have deceived thee. And when you follow these oppressors, you are having pride in your heart and you are being deceived. Keep reading.
But he that regardeth reproof is prudent. Verse 6. Verse 6. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble.
Now give me Matthew 24:9. We're gonna hear what Christ said about people hating us for his name's sake. That every time we come out here and we profess to the earth that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, that we are the real Jews, they hate what we say. And I understand it. I understand why you hate what we say. You hate it because you know your kingdom is falling. You know that the truth is getting out. That no longer you can lie to us. No longer will we be subject underneath your God and be underneath your punishment. We will no longer be underneath pocket tyrants, hypocritical men, unrighteous men. Nah, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are tired of that way of living. We want to be righteous. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, all our lives, all we want to be is righteous. That's all we want to do. We want to be right with God. That's why we go from religion to religion, searching on who we are. That's why we're just trying to cleave onto something. But we're doing these things and have no wisdom and knowledge and understanding the history behind these religions, behind these pagan holidays. Why? Because the truth of God has been turned into a lie. The truth of God has been whitewashed. And that's why the men in the Isupk and the commanding General Yahana are here to edify blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to let you guys know you are the biblical Israelites.
Right.
You are the real Jews. That your life has meaning. That your life is worth living. But the life that you're living here, you have to destroy that life. You have to stop living that life that you've been living for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. That life is not approved of God. That life is disapproved. Read what you got.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
Read it slow.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated for all nations for my name's sake.
And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So last time I checked, how come y'all say Christ died for everybody? How come y'all say that God loves everybody? What sense would that make when it says in the scriptures that we shall be hated of all nations for Christ's name's sake? Because why? We understand that Christ was a so-called black man.
Right.
A black man from the tribe of Judah biblically, which would be his nationality in the scriptures. Now we understand why we are hated for Christ's name's sake. Because they don't want to honor and follow a so-called black man. They don't want to follow and honor the ways of the Most High God. They don't want to be righteous. And they hated that a so-called black man from the land of Nazareth, from the bottom, from the lows of the lows, was the Messiah of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That a so-called black man was a Messiah, the man that I was going to save and give blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians salvation. They hated that. And guess what? While him doing it, he had no weapon. He had no place to rest his head.
Right.
The birds got to go and sleep before him. The Son of Man had no place to rest. Everybody hated Christ. Why? Because he was bringing back blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians under one accord. And he didn't need weapons to do it. He didn't need some type of crazy ideology to do it. The only thing that he had to do was read the scriptures. The only thing that he had to do was obey God. And that's why Christ was the best of us.
Right.
He was given up to sacrifice his life to die for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian sins.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life.
You don't receive her what? Her planes! In the Isupk, we ain't worried about the coronavirus. How many of us do you see with masks on? Right! How many of us do you see out here afraid with gloves on?
140 for the rebel.
The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different.
Don't sit here and talk shit like what's gonna pop up, what's gonna do this. If you're gonna cross the line, cross the fucking line. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here. Right.
Please, forgive me for the time that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your prince.
Nosotros somos una nación. Nosotros somos la misma gente. Nosotros
mundo sepa que nuestros hermanos negros y hermanos moranos ya no estarán separados, pero se unirán para hacer grandes cosas por todas las 12 tribus peredas de Israel. Juan Yasha'al.